What's sprouting, everybody? Summer Carrot here. It's me, your boy, your favorite content creator that just likes to produce new content when he is already miles behind the content that he should be working on, especially me trying to do this Steam Scare event. But I mentioned how I wanted to try to record a horror game for every single day of the event. Started on October 26th, goes to the 2nd, November 2nd, and it is the 30th today. So tomorrow's Halloween. Do people wish other people happy Halloween? That thought never occurred to me until just now. But if you do go on trick-or-treating with like brothers and sisters or even yourself, you know, I don't even know if people still do that because, you know, after the world went kind of to shit. First horror game, Devour, played with Sam and Zeke. That one was a fuck ton of fun. Mainly because I went from shitting my pants to basically rage screaming at the stupid fucking monster that was just bullying me. It knew I was recording the motherfucker, I swear to God. Inscription, which you guys will actually be seeing that tomorrow. I downloaded the demo of that, and it's gonna be a two-parter. Don't Scream. That one's inspired by the Blair Witch Project. Handheld VHS recorder. The game resets every time you scream, and it is just the most suspenseful fucking game. I barely was able to play it for an hour. Did 3 runs. I was shitting myself, so you guys will have to see that at some point. But yeah, then there's like more First Descendant. What else do I got in here? Random Overwatch clips. Don't know what I'm gonna do about that. Overcooked. I gotta get that out because that was a fuck ton of fun to play. Some Rock and Stone, Smite thrown here and there. Got some Titanfall too. And that's just like the more recent content that I have. I still have a shit ton of Rocket League footage. Hell Let Loose. Another game similar to Hell Let Loose, but it's free to play. Max, help me out, dude. I don't know what the game's called. All that aside, do a little Game of Thrones update, because at this point, I am more pissed off than when I saw the fucking Red Wedding. Anger, frustration, disappointment, rage, hatefulness, spite. I was so angry and frustrated with the end of season 5, the season 5 finale, that I pretty much rage slept for 12 hours last night, and I still woke up tired. I don't even know if I gotta put spoiler warnings before I start talking about Game of Thrones shit, because I mean, at this point, you're one of 3 people. You're one, somebody who already seen it when it like was first releasing, when it literally took over the entire goddamn planet. 2, you really just like don't give a shit about it and you'll never watch it and you're just gonna hear what happens and hear me just raging and playing and cry like a little baby, or you're in the process of watching it. And if you're in my little small group, welcome along, buddy. Season 5 finale, so sad, man. So sad, especially because they got me all hopeful. We even still watched the recast because they kind of give you a little hint as to what's gonna happen in the episode. Season 5 finale, the recap talks about Jon Snow's uncle Benjen, who he disappeared like in the first season after he went on his first expedition when Jon was just introduced into the Night Watch. His horse came back. Obviously, Uncle Benjen wasn't on his horse, and then we just haven't heard from him since. Towards the end of the episode, Ollie comes out and he's like, "Yo, Jon, guess what? A wildling thinks he found your Uncle Benjen," which instantly just felt too good to be true. Well, I mean, of course, I got happy because I'm like, "Yo, Uncle Benjen's a fucking G. I love that guy." Jon, of course, gets all excited. He like quickly gathered up some of his things and just went down to like their main floor area. It goes off to a little corner where a bunch of Night's Watch standing in a corner with a bunch of torches, and then Jon pushes through the crowd to talk to the wildling to figure out where Uncle Benjen is, but then it pans over to a sign with the word traitor written on it, and just one by one, brothers of the Night's Watch just start stabbing Jon. And to finish it all off, of course, Ollie has to be the one that fucking does the last stab. That was so fucking sad, man. So fucking sad. I was not a happy camper last night, so who knows when I'm gonna watch fucking Thrones again. I really don't feel like watching anytime soon, so this might be the last little recap for a fucking while. Kind of separate from Game of Thrones. Starting a little, I don't know if I want to say series, I don't know if that's a good way of putting it, but I was in like waiting for in my turn of an interview for a job I was going for, and I was just daydreaming about like YouTube, waiting to get back home and start making content, start making some more videos. I was just thinking about commentaries. It's obviously something I want to get a wee bit better at. The title Thursday Thoughts as like my little, I don't know if calling it a series might help me in my commentaries a little bit, although now that I say Thursday Thoughts, for some reason that sounds a lot worse in my head than when I knew I was kind of in for a rough fucking couple episodes, because my mom, she's basically been watching the majority of the show with me the entire time, and she typically never says, "Oh, we have to watch the next episode. We have to watch the next episode." It's typically like, "Hey, we can keep watching if you want." I will happily watch this entire fucking show right here and now. I will not get up from this goddamn couch until that last credit scene rolls. But she's like, "No, we are watching 2 episodes today. You are seeing what happens at the end of these 2 episodes, so I had a hunch that they were gonna be rough, exciting. I don't really know, but all I knew is I was in for a fucking ride. The first one was that big White Walker fight that I mentioned in a couple commentaries ago. Little recap, that's the only thing I've ever seen from Game of Thrones. It was back when the show was like first airing out. My dad's like, hey Joe, you want to watch a badass fight scene? I'm like, of course I want to watch a badass fight scene. Not knowing any of the characters, it had no weight to me whatsoever. I'm like, yo, this action shit is fucking tough. Like, you know, knights and swords and whatnot fighting zombies. I'm like, this is badass as shit. But then this time around, actually watching the show and getting like attached to all these characters, seeing Jon trying to do something that a Lord Commander's never done, actually like fight for the safety and the protection of wildlings, which obviously other Night's Watch brothers definitely didn't like that, hence, you know, Jon's kind heart getting him killed, as the one fucking old bastard said. I fucking hate him so much. Speaking of characters I hate, Ramsay, safe to say, I hate him more than I hate Joffrey, and I am so surprised that that was ever a sentence or thought that would leave my lips. That dude is the fucking worst. The shit he does to Sansa, the fucking, him on his wedding day with Sansa was just oh my god. He made freaking Reek watch it. Like, Sansa even reached out to Reek for help, saying for him to put a candle at the top of the broken tower to signal for help. Because obviously Sansa needed some help. Not allowed to leave her room. Reek, of course, caved, did not go to the top of the tower, told Ramsay, who obviously he wasn't too happy about that one. Sansa's one friend in the north got flayed, and then Sansa then again pried Reek for information. Mainly was trying to figure out like why he would do all those hurtful things to her brothers, why Reek would kill Rickon and Bran, prying information, just like pretty much screaming at him, be like, why could you do this, how could you do that? The Theon came out a little bit. It's like, I didn't kill them, it was the farm boys. And that was the first little sign of hope in Sansa's eyes, because now she knows that her brothers are alive somewhere, and we haven't seen them in ages. They went to whatever tree beyond the wall, some old dude in like a wooden throne, but it seems like the throne was like also connecting to him. It was pretty weird. At this point, I kind of even forgot about what they were talking about. The one ward guy, the Peter Pan looking dude, he died. The White Walkers were surrounding the entrance to the tree they were at, and this like little girl, looks like a little girl, but I actually don't think it is. I don't know, some like approachable persona for newcomers. I don't really know. But yeah, then for a second time, Sansa tried to escape because Stannis was attacking Winterfell. Except he wasn't exactly attacking Winterfell how he planned to, because prior to that, Stannis left Castle Black with his entire army and was on the march to Winterfell. However, halfway through, a really bad snowstorm came, stopping them in their tracks. They had to set up camp, they had to set up shop. They were losing men and horses by decent numbers, but obviously they're from the south. They weren't used to the cold and all the snow and this kind of weather. But Stannis was also getting pretty desperate because he obviously lost his battle at the Blackwater. He was dead set on not retreating, because then he's just going to be known as a king of losses, a king who retreats. And what kind of king is to rule the 7 kingdoms if all he's known for is backing down and retreating with his tail between his legs? And then, dude, the fucking Red Woman just doing Red Woman things. Well, just to remind you, remember when I said there was power in King's blood? This is me? Oh shit, let's get it, dude. Bop, 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 bop. Oh, hit him another. Reminding him of power of the King's blood. Stannis is like, yeah, but I don't have Robert's bastard. And then the Red Woman, the sleazy little bastard that she is, she's like, yeah, but you have a daughter, remember? I was beyond disgusted that she would even bring that up as a freaking option. Hearing his daughter say that she wants to do everything she can to help her father, but I'm like, you don't know the context of what he's talking about, man. Well, let's just say the voice actor for the daughter, Princess, absolutely unreal performance. I was getting goosebumps the entire time. I felt sick to my stomach with those screams. It was so, oh my god. But you can even tell, like, looking through Stannis' army, some of the soldiers that the camera was getting panned to, they obviously were not too comfortable just standing there and watching just a little girl get burnt at the stake. And it makes sense why I should not be alive right now. But it then made entirely too much sense when he sent Sir Devos away to go, quote-unquote, get more men at Castle Black, to get more horses and get support from Jon. Because, obviously, Sir Devos would not have let Stannis do that to the princess. Then, of course, the next day, you know, all the snow's melting because sacrifice to the fire god or whatever. Fire Lord Ozen, oh, God bless. Yeah, the snow might have cleared, but a lot of Stannis' army kind of just said, all right, I'm out, chief. This is not what I signed up for. Like, this, nope, I ain't about it. Left with all their horses, about half his army left, and not even to mention that, before this whole fiery event happened, Ramsay was then playing some guerrilla warfare tactics, and he actually ransacked some of Stannis' camp, burnt some of their camps down with all their food and some of their supplies in there, let some of the horses go as well before the sellswords stole the remainder of the horses. So obviously Stannis was pretty desperate to get something going for his troops, but didn't exactly raise morale, I'll just say that. After hearing all the news about a lot of his troops abandoning him, the Red Woman kind of stood there and was like, I think I done fucked up here. Stannis then got word from one of his soldiers saying he's got some bad news, and Stannis is like, what could it be? He's like, what is it? Can't be worse than mutiny. It pans to them going into a forest and to see that Stannis's wife pretty much hanging from a tree. I don't really know if there's like a polite way for me to say that, and if YouTube just fucking throws a ban hammer on me for that, I'm sorry. I'm talking about a show that's like a decade old at this point. She was kind of supporting the whole, like, you know, let's burn our daughter alive kind of deal, and then of course started to hear her daughter's screams and the motherly instincts kicked in. She went to go try to save her. A bunch of soldiers held her back, and she was just an absolute mess watching that, getting a front row seat to that whole ordeal. Then another soldier came in after Stannis saw his wife, and they cut her down. The soldier reported that the Red Woman was reported seen riding away from camp. Nobody really knows where she's going. It then pans back to Castle Black, where we see the Red Woman riding through the gates after Jon and Sir Devos were talking. Then, of course, the first thing Sir Devos says after seeing the Red Woman is, like, what happened to the princess? Is she all right? Is everything okay? What's the sit rep? What's the status here? Red Woman, obviously looking very sad, doesn't say anything and walks away, and I think Devos is kind of putting two to two and get together. To the extent I don't think he really understands or is comprehending it, but dude, oh my, when this dude finds out what happened to the princess, he is going to go ape shit on the Red Woman. God, I can't wait for him to get some sweet old revenge. So with whatever Stannis had left of his army, he went to walk on Winterfell, preparing for a siege the following morning. However, the Boltons weren't going to stand around and wait for that. They left the safety of Winterfell, and they basically, with all their horses in tow, just slaughtered Stannis' army. It was a complete whitewash. Half of Stannis' army you could see in like the aerial view, almost like if we're in like a Goodyear blimp. The front half of the army pushing onwards with Stannis with the support and morale of their king. The back half completely just spineless. They ran away into the woods. The middle ground was like some ran towards the fight, others obviously ran away. And then it pans to Stannis fighting off like 2 more soldiers before collapsing on the ground. And then Brienne of Tar actually came up to him after he got sliced up a little bit, saying like, I am the Kingsguard of King Renly. I sentence you to die to kind of avenge Renly. And then it cuts away from Brienne slicing down on Stannis' head. We don't actually see him die though, so we don't know if Stannis actually died or not. Panning back to Winterfell, Ramsay was out doing his own thing. The whole Bolton army was out, and so Winterfell was pretty empty. So Sansa took a golden opportunity to try to get something going. That's not the button I meant to press. She went to go try again to get a candle in the tallest window of the broken pillar. But of course, Sansa doing all this work, breaking in through doors, picking locks. She finally gets to the tower. She goes to light the candle, and literally 10 seconds too late, because Brienne of Tarth then just turns away. She's been staring at this window this entire time, and then of course the one moment she turns away to go look for Stannis, the light goes on in the tower, so she has no idea that Sansa is calling for help. Sansa actually does though get caught. I don't even know what the girl's name is. Ramsay's lover before he was named a Bolton and then married to Sansa. Kooky crazy bitch. Held Sansa hostage on like some balcony with Reek next to her, because obviously Reek probably told her about Sansa's whereabouts. She was going on saying like how, oh, I'm not gonna kill you, I'm just gonna not damage parts of you that Ramsay needs to make offspring, which is just super fucked. Absolutely disgusting. And as she like pulls back the bow, right before she fires it, Reek actually snaps and goes back to Theon. Body slams her in the wall, knocks the bow and arrow out of her hand, and then just yeets that bitch over the balcony, and we just see her skull splat like a freaking watermelon. So clearly, Reek is like, oh damn. Sansa's like, Oh, damn. Go, Theon. I knew you were in there somewhere. But then, right as that happened, Lord Bolton's army coming back, or it might have been Ramsay's. I don't really know. We didn't really see which one of the Boltons were returning. But Sansa and Theon weren't going to wait to find out. So they ended up climbing up on a wall and pretty much jumped off the wall to the exterior of Winterfell. I'm assuming this is like an Assassin's Creed sort of event where there's just like a big old hay bale there that has no right absorbing all that freaking kinetic force, and then you're just going to walk away unscathed. So they are now on the run. I'm assuming they're still alive because Theon just isn't just gonna do that and then just die right away. That's just too good of a story to not expand upon. And going back to the White Walker fight as well, I'm curious. Can giants get turned into White Walkers? Because, I mean, obviously, with just regular old dudes, I'm guessing they don't really have to get bitten by the White Walkers in order for them to turn. I think they just gotta get killed by the White Walkers or get killed around that one general or king. Because after everybody died, he just, like, raised his arms up. By the hundreds, dead bodies just started rising from the floor. So that I don't really know too much about. But, dude, if the White Walkers get a White Walker giant, that would be absolutely absurd. But it didn't seem like the giant was too concerned about it because he was just like throwing the White Walkers off of him like they were just like little pieces of dust on his shoulders. Now with Jon gone, I don't know what's gonna happen to them White Walkers because I don't know how the whole seniority ranks go once the Lord Commander is done. Master Aemon, he unfortunately passed. So there's no maester there to kind of keep everybody in line or to do any like diplomatic things. Sam also got sent off of Jon's behalf to train to become a maester. So obviously he's not a good fighter. He's much better with books and knowledge. That dude just got a holy shit. No wonder I can't find him. That dude just fucking wiped the entire damn server.